Hello everyone, welcome back to Lola Emmanuel TV. I want to appreciate all my subscribers, both new and old, all my returning subscribers. Thank you so much everyone for all your support and love. Thank you so much for always coming back to watch my video whenever I upload. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you all. Thank you so much. So in today's video, I'll be showing you how to bake YouTube cake and how to decorate it. Although I've uploaded a video on my channel on how to bake cake, but this method rather, is very simple. Okay, this is totally different for the one that I've uploaded. This had the list of my ingredients to make this cake. I will be using square shape baking pan to bake this cake. What I have here is my butter in room temperature. I'll be using 500 grams of butter, 1 cup of sugar. I have 1 tablespoon of nutmeg, half teaspoon of salt, half cup of milk, vanilla extract, lemon juice, eggs, and 3 cups of plain flour. All my ingredients are in room temperature. Okay, when you are baking cake, make sure all your ingredients are in the room temperature. The first thing you're going to do is to combine all the dry ingredients together: the flour, nutmeg, baking powder, salt, and sift this before baking it. This part is very important. You sift your flour and the other dry ingredients when you are baking your cake. Once I'm through with this process, I will set it aside. Here is my butter. I'll go ahead and add sugar to the butter and beat this for about 6 minutes. This is not a long process, okay? It's very simple and plain cake. You just want to mix the butter very well with the sugar. You can see the color have changed. Now start by cracking the egg one after the other. You don't add all your eggs into your mixed butter at the same time. Once I'm through with the eggs, I will go ahead and add the vanilla extract, the lemon juice. Then I will beat this about 3 minutes. Once I'm through with this process, it's time for me to start adding the flour. At this stage, I won't be using my hand mixer. We just be adding flour, half cup of flour at a time. Once I'm through with the adding of the flour, I will go ahead and add the milk bit by bit. Here is my baking pan. I have grease and place baking sheet or baking paper on this baking pan. I'm using square shape. I will take this to the oven and bake on 180 degrees for about 40 minutes. Guys, I have preheated my oven when I was making the batter. Okay, the cake is out of the oven after 40 minutes. So know that your cake is well baked is when you dip a stick into the cake and it comes out clean without any batter. It means your cake is ready. So this cake has completely cooled down. It is time for decorating process. I have cut my cake. I love to cut my cake, slice it and add either buttercream or strawberry jam in the middle. You don't have to do this, okay? Once I'm through with this, I will go ahead and cover the cake with the half part. Then I will cut the edges because of the shape that I will be decorating with this cake. So this is square, and I will go ahead and add buttercream. I will apply buttercream on the cake, then I will set this aside. Here is my fondant. I'll be using white and red fondant. I will sprinkle my icing sugar on my surface, then I will roll this fondant. When you are using ready to roll fondant, you need to knead the fondant for some few minutes before you start rolling it. I always love to roll my fondant on my baking paper. This will make it easy for me to apply to place it on the cake. I will go ahead and roll this with my rolling stick. I'm using wooden one. You can use any one that you have. I'm just using what I have at home. Sprinkle some icy sugar on your fondant. It will make it easier for you to roll it. I just rolling this to cover the baking paper, okay? Once I finish rolling this, I will take this fondant, then place it on the cake. This is the cake that I use for my monetization party YouTube cake. That's what we are making. Once I place the fondant on the cake, I will go ahead and use my cake smoother to smoothen the cake to make sure the square shape come out very well. Once I'm through with the smoothing process, I will go ahead and use my knife, or you can use your knife. I will be using pizza cutter to cut out the excess fondant from the edges. Yeah, I'm using pizza cutter. Once I'm through with this, I will set that aside. Then I will roll this red fondant. We need to cut an rectangle shape out of this red fondant. I will use my tape to measure where I want to place the rectangle shape. This is how I'm going to do it. At this stage, I will go ahead and place this on top of the cake and go ahead and use my smoother to make sure that I adjust this very well. Now I will roll out another shape, which is triangle. Okay, I hope I'm very correct with the shape. Yeah, I will place it on top of the red one. The next thing I'm doing now is I'm going to cut out a tiny, just a long tiny fondant. I just where I want to write my name, my YouTube name on. I'll just place it on the cake board in the front of the cake, beside the cake rather, and cut out the excess fondant. This is optional. Okay. Yeah, I'm just a learner anyway. I'm just a learner for this. Okay, I will use my writing icing, okay, to write YouTube on the cake. You can use the same fondant, black color, to write this, but I have this, so there's no need for me to be going through that process using alphabet cutter to write YouTube. That one is not fast as this is more easier than that. So I will write YouTube on the cake. Then I will write Lola Emmanuel TV beside the cake, which is my YouTube channel. Okay, this is very easy, very simple. So you can see that whenever you are celebrating anything on YouTube, you can bake your cake and